Hi, my name is Julianne Gross, and today I'm going to be talking about some books I've read recently. It's been like a month? Yeah, since I've last posted. It's like, you know when you love, like, you're really excited for like a TV show or a book when it comes out, and then instead of reading it or watching it, you wait like 6 months and then you're like, why did I procrastinate so long on this? That's kind of how what's going on. What this is. Anyways, it's been like 85 years, I swear. Why do I procrastinate on making videos? I don't know. I read a bunch of books since last time, so let's get on to the actual video. I'm going old school right now. Like, if you watched any of my earlier videos, I definitely I was pretty much never standing. I was always sitting on the floor because my camera was on a stack of books. I'm using a tripod at the moment, so it's good, but I'm old school sitting on the floor because why not? And also I have not strategically placed my book, My Life as a Teenage Vampire, available on August 14th in the background. I've also wrote a book. It's called My Life as a Teenage Vampire. It's available on August 14th. Okay, moving on. So the first book I wanted to talk about that I read recently, My Life as a Teenage Vampire, available August 14th. No, The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. Woo, I got her name right. I was like, is that even her name? Oh my god, I love this book. Look at it. It's so beautiful. I love it. Look at that spine. It's so pretty. I love it. It's so pretty. I don't know what this voice is. So, for anyone who doesn't know what this book is about, let me give you a little summary. It takes place in the 1800s or late 1700s. I think it's the 1700s. I could be wrong. Anyways, it's in olden times, pre-Netflix. So it follows the story of Monty, who, with his best friend Percy, and Monty's sister Felicity, they decide to go on this Euro trip, and have some fun around Europe before Monty has to take over the estate, and Percy goes to law school, and Felicity goes to finishing school. They all gonna go places after this year abroad. But then like 5 seconds into their trip, chaos happens, and let's just say there's bandits and alchemy stuff and just crazy stuff, and a beautiful romance. A beautiful romance. It's great. They're so cute together, and it's like this, you just want them to be together, but then the problems happen, but they're so cute. I love it. I was laughing so much, and like as I was reading it, I kept showing my boyfriend like each different like sections, like read this. He basically read the entire book because every page is funny, so I was like showing him every page with all the jokes. I literally refer to my bra as a breast prison now because of this book. It's great. I love it. Just And then there's certain moments in this book that just like there's like this one comment about something, and you just think it's like something that's offhand, and then later it comes back, and I was like, what? But the person mentioned that earlier in the book. I won't mention it, obviously, but oh my god, it's a great setup. And it's really, really funny. It can be read as a standalone, but there's a second book coming out this year, I think. This year. I'm so excited. Oh my goodness, I love this book so much. But moving on to the next book I want to talk about. Immediately after finishing this book, I'm like, okay, I need to read The Alex Crow by Andrew Smith. Andrew Smith, I knew his name, I was just testing you. I bought this book last year. Finally read it. I have so many books to read, but I finally read this. It was fabulous, let me tell you. Oh my god, why didn't I get on this train earlier? And I've been wanting to read Grasshopper Jungle since like forever. Okay, I heard great things about the book. I hear it's really weird, which is, up my alley. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get this book though first, because I don't know why. And I really, really love this cover. I think that there was another cover that looks good, but like, look at that. All of the little things in it. It's gorgeous. So there's like 3 different stories that's going on, and they're all connected and it's just amazing how well put together. Like, I think about 50 pages in, you start realizing like how everything's like connected. Because at first it's like you're introduced to the different stories and you're like, and obviously they're gonna end up, you know, intersecting, but it's just like the question of how they're gonna intersect, how they're related to each other. And once you start seeing all these pieces coming together, it's just, it's glorious. So, The Alex Crow. Where do you even begin? It's very surreal. It's like this weird surreal type of story. Like, if you read Everybody Sees the Ants by A.S. King, fabulous book. What? Second time I'm using the word fabulous. Why am I using fabulous and glorious a lot? Like, I don't use them that much, those words that much, but okay, whatever. Anyways, that book is fabulous. But this book kind of has that same vibe. Like, it's, you know, like, there's a certain, like, this surrealism to it. If you like really weird shit, this book's gonna work for you. I would also say give it, like, if you're not really into, like, that weird, surreal, like, type of stories, I'd say at least give it, like, 50 to 100 pages. At least try it. It's beautiful. Like, I don't even, and I know I've been talking for a long time without actually telling you what it's about, but I don't know how to describe it. I'm sure other people can do it better than I can, but the main character is this boy who's at this summer camp, and then you have this guy who's like insane, and then you have this ship that's stuck, that's like in the 1800s or whatever, when they were sailing through the trying to find the Northwest Passage. I say the 1800s, but actually I don't even know if it was the 1800s. But when they're trying to find the Northwest Passage, there's a ship that was going through that and got stuck in the ice, and so it's like these three different stories and they all connect into an explosive end. Seriously, at the end I was like, what? What? It was great. I love it. I love it so much. And just the writing was so beautiful. Like, I really love the way Andrew Smith, like, writes. It's glorious. I'm using that word again. It's my channel. I can say what I want. Alright, so it was the year 2015. Wait, was it? Yes, it was the year 2015, and I went to a library book sale. I finally read one of the books I got from that. So yay. Why do I wait 5 years to read books? Actually, it was like 3 years, but I literally have like 100 books that I own that I have not read. At least like 20 of those I got like at this library book sale, and then the year after that I went back to that book sale and got even like more books. And it's not my fault, okay? Like, seriously, one bag was like $1. So you can bet your ass I filled up that bag with as many books as I could. Books that were like, I skimmed the summary and was like, taking it, it can fit in the bag. So I did that 2 years in a row, and it's not been good. Because I have these books and I still haven't read them. And then I keep buying new books. What is wrong with me? Anyways, so Night Film by, what's her name? Marisha Pessl? So I heard about this book a while ago. It was buzzing around BookTube, and I was like, okay, I need to read this book, but then I never got the book. And so I'm browsing around at the library book sale and I see this. And at first I was wondering why someone would want to get rid of it, because I was reading it, I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And so I was like, okay, who would take this away? And I realized that it's an ARC. So I was reading it, I was like, also keeping in mind that it was an ARC, so some things may have changed in the actual published book, but I'm pretty sure the story is basically the same. I think there's maybe some few grammar issues, but like, again, it's an ARC, so they probably fix that. But I was also wondering, okay, who would want to get rid of this? Because at the library book sale, it was just, it's donated books. So anyways, I realized why once I got further into the book. I can see why someone might want to give this away, but as somebody who owns a book that's literally split in half, this doesn't bother me. I'm gonna fix it. As a middle schooler, I was really bad to my books, so I'm not unfamiliar with gluing books back together. So, do you want to see the Battle of the Labyrinth? Because that is held together by tape. I wasn't joking when I said it's held together by tape. I read it 15 times, so that's why it's messed up. Anyways, Night Film. so good. In the book, there is these like really creepy type of films that kind of are, basically think Hitchcock films, basically, but probably creepier. The director is Cordova, I think is how you pronounce his name. So yeah, so pretty much as a, Cordova films are described as like kind of sucking you in, and you can't, you know, like you're so like ingrained in it, it's just like you can't think of anything else. All you want to do is be part of this film. That's kind of how this book was. Like, I was like in a Cordova film. I was just so sucked in with everything, you know? It was so interesting to be like in this world, and like there's like pictures and articles and stuff like that, and you got to see like the actual like characters, you know, so you actually saw what these characters look like, and it was like really interesting. It was beautifully written too, and she has a new book out, so I'm excited for that. I really, really love this book. I love the writing, the characters, the story itself. So Cordova's daughter, Ashley, ends up committing suicide, and the main guy, Richard? Okay, I already forgot his name, sorry. I think, whatever. The main guy is a reporter, and he's investigating the suicide and trying to figure out what actually happened. You know, like, was it actually suicide, or was it something else? And it's very, very interesting, and whew, it's a wild ride. I am gonna go into a little bit of a spoiler. If you haven't read this book yet, just mute the video for right now. One of the moments that really, really stands out to me and just sticks with me so much is when the main character is on the Cordova house, like on the property, and he's going through the film sets. Like, there's something about that whole night when he's at the film sets that just really, really stuck with me, and it's my favorite scene. It's just like going through these film sets and describing the different scenes and seeing the different props and all of that stuff. Like, it was really, really cool, and 100% my favorite part of this entire book. Also, like, when I was at, or when, not me, when the main character was at the confessional and sees the guy turn his face, oh my god, that actually terrified me. I was sitting in a mall. It was like 10 a.m., brightly lit, there were people. I was terrified. And I was in broad daylight, terrified at that scene. It was done so well. So this book was definitely a beautiful, beautiful read. Very creepy. There's definitely some scenes where I was like legit terrified. If you were in the spoiler section, that scene, it was beautiful and very haunting. I think that's a good word for it. Very haunting. There's definitely scenes that will stick with you for, I think, forever. Like, there's very good scenes. Very good book. Highly recommend it. Probably get one that isn't falling apart. The last book I'm going to talk about is a book that I already read, but then decided to reread because the sequel came out, like, I don't know, 3 years ago? Yeah, so when the sequel came out, I was like, oh, I should read that book. It's called The Young Elise by Mary Lou. You know, I enjoyed it the first time, didn't realize the main character was the villain. Seriously, I was like reading some review, and they were like, oh yeah, she was the villain the whole time, and I guess somehow I missed that, because it's like you're in her head, so she doesn't think she's the villain. But honestly, when I was reading it, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that thing happened, but like, I didn't see her as a villain. And then I reread it, and I'm like, oh, the whole like ambitious and bloodlust thing, that should have been the giveaway. Somehow it just didn't click in my brain that she was a villain the whole time. But she was obviously a villainous character. She's not a good person. But anyways, so I was like, okay, I need to reread it, because obviously I missed some things. And so I reread about half of it, and then started reading other books, and then didn't pick it up until now. It had been like a year, maybe 2 years. Now I'll finally read The Rose Society, because I've been waiting to read that ever since I started this. Anyways, this book is really good. It's fantasy, there's kids with powers, rebellions, you know, the fun stuff. I feel like a lot of people know about this book, but I really, really enjoyed it. Definitely if you like high fantasy and anti-heroes or villains. Is she anti-hero or villain? Whatever. You decide. I thought she was the hero, so whatever. You're the hero of your own story, right? And it's also very beautifully written. Mary Lou is definitely a great writer, so check it out. Anyways, my battery on my camera is about to die, so I'm gonna say goodbye. I don't know why I'm holding the books like this, and thanks for watching. I will see you in my next video. Keep reading, or happy reading. I don't know, whatever I say. It's been a month. Bye!